Hello again. It feels like it has been a while, as we had a week off for a little bit of an intermission week. So, thank you for joining us once more. Hopefully, you are all doing well and are enjoying the holiday season. This is the Anime Odyssey, and I am here with my podcast partner and friend, Dean.
Hey, what's up? It does feel like it's been forever.
Yeah. Hopefully, you are ready for this episode. As you may gather from the title of this episode, the final 2 episodes of Dawn to Dawn have aired, and we are going to be diving right in. And it's incredibly bittersweet.
Yeah.
Because what an absolutely phenomenal ride it has been. But it's over, and we have to get off the ride. And
For now.
Yeah. And now we have to get back in line and wait to go again.
Yeah.
But the line is months. It's a line that is going to take 6 to 7 months to get through. But hey.
It's when you say it out loud, it's like, oh my god, especially after,
Right.
After everything. Ugh.
But honestly, we'll probably be there in no time. And
Okay.
and I can't wait. I can't wait.
True. Same.
So yeah. We are back, and I guess to kick off a little small talk, Dean, you were about to tell me that you have somebody you want to cosplay.
Oh yeah. So the character we were introduced in the previous episode, Gigi, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And any like red hair person in any anime I like to see represented, because
represent.
And I don't know, I think I could pull that off.
Yeah.
Maybe not like I don't have that kind of colored red hair, but
I mean, you could make it redder, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I could do like a quick thing, but I really do like, just his initial outfit, and his, we'll go into it, but I just kind of like his personality too. I honestly think like in real life, I think you would definitely be Akarun and I would be Gigi. Like personality wise, because I feel like I'm still kind of shy, but I feel like I would still be a lot more like this in person, in a group, so
like pretty outgoing in a group.
Yeah, like trying to make people laugh or happy and stuff like that, and just being goofy. I think I don't know. I pictured both of us, if we were in high school.
I mean, it's not. I mean, back in school, we might not be wrong.
Yeah. So
except I'd hold my own, and actually I wouldn't, because I sucked at soccer, but sports.
Oh, yeah, I would not be teaching you that at
all. So just for the sake of time, because I think the Dawn to Dawn discussion is going to be lengthy, we're gonna just get right into this, because it's been a while, and I just want to let's get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
So to get into our Japanese, I've got a word of the week here, and I will bring it up for you. And it is Hisashiburi.
Ooh.
Hisashiburi.
Hisashiburi.
Yep. And that means long time no see, or it's been a while. And I thought that was a good one just for this, because it's been a little while.
It has,
or at least it feels like it's been a little while.
Hisashiburi.
Yeah.
I like
Hisashiburi.
I like that. Hisashiburi. Buri.
I mean, you're doing it right. It probably feels weird, because saying the R's is a little bit. It's different. It's a little bit hard to.
And some people can't roll their R's, which surprised me. I didn't know that.
And the thing is,
my girlfriend can't do it, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Some people are really good at rolling their R's. This one's like R and my R's tend to be a little bit more rolled, and I'm still struggling with trying to get it. But it's like, it's hard. You use, like, instead of I just want to try to phrase this the right way. Like when you're rolling or you're trying to say the R, it's more like an L, but you're like your tongue, instead of hitting like the front part of your mouth, it's like further back a little bit.
Yeah. As you explain it, I'm like doing it in my mouth, like.
And it's still so hard. I'm trying to get more used to it, and it's starting to slowly get there. But there's times where I just flat out don't even do it at all. It will be repetition that will get me through it eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hisashi Buri.
Hisashi Buri. I like that. I like it a lot.
Now, that is our Japanese for the week. And it's time for a little bit of news. So let me get into that. It's not as breaking as that sound. It's not breaking news. Keeping this very short because this episode is all Dan. For those who haven't seen theirs already, Crunchyroll has created something similar to Spotify's Wrapped. It's called Your Crunchyroll 2024 Arc. And I know you watch Crunchyroll on your phone, so you've probably seen it.
Yes.
Honestly, for me, it's a bit underwhelming in comparison to the Spotify Wrapped, but it's still kind of cool. Essentially, it takes everything that you have watched in 2024 and puts it in a presentation with a bunch of little neat statistics. You can only see it on the Crunchyroll app, though. So if you haven't seen it, that could be why. If you are watching on a browser or anything like that. Lastly, as I touched on a tad earlier, yes, Season 2 of Dan has officially been announced, and it will be gracing us with its presence this coming July. I was already pretty certain we'd be getting a Season 2, but it's awesome to have a confirmation so quickly.
Yeah, to know, especially once we're done watching it, it's like, well, now when is it going to come out?
Yeah, exactly. It just was good. It's just good to know and not have to wonder. And lastly, a trailer, this just dropped. A trailer for the new Chainsaw Man movie just released. It's called Chainsaw Man, the movie Reze Arc. And it looks absolutely incredible. If you love Chainsaw Man, go watch it now if you haven't, and get excited.
Well, then I will go do that right now. No,
but you can if you want, actually.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't watched Chainsaw Man or the trailer?
None of those.
Okay, so
I have
don't
no
watch
idea
the trailer,
what Chainsaw Man.
I mean, you can because there really isn't any spoilers in the trailer, but I would say go watch Chainsaw Man and then the trailer.
Okay,
and it looks awesome. Anyway, that is the end of the news.
Yep,
and it's now time for Dan. Let's get into it. Full speed and spoilers ahead.
Very quick. Sparking update. It fixed everything. I just want everyone to know. Okay.
What was broken?
Just everything.
Everything got broken?
Well, like online, just they did little updates here and there, like changing some animations to make them look better, changing how, like, people can't like spam certain things, and like they evened out the game.
Oh, okay.
It plays so much better.
Okay.
Like, oh my god. So
nice.
Just a little sparking update for everyone. I always got to mention it.
No, hell yeah. How's that tournament going? I haven't.
Good. I think the beginning of next year is when they continue it. I think because they ended with North America. So we're just waiting on, whenever the next thing is. I'm not sure. They haven't updated. I think like because holidays are coming, so they kind of like stopped. Plus, with the updates, they need people to kind of like get in tune with the new way of like playing now. So
because it probably feels a little bit different.
Yeah, it is a lot. It is a lot different.
Gotcha.
But, yeah. So should be fun.
Gotcha. Alrighty.
Okay, now we could go.
So yeah,
I always got to mention sparking.
No, that's totally fair. I was waiting for you to do it anyway. Eventually, at some point. But yeah, full speed and spoilers ahead.
Oh yeah.
Now's your chance to leave if you haven't finished Dan or even started it. If you just want to go and watch it and come back another time, go ahead and do that now, because we are going to start talking about it. Full spoilers for the final 2 episodes of Dan, starting now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not going to be doing the full step-by-step thing that I have been doing for most of the episodes. I mean, it's kind of going to be, but not as much, because I know some of them were very step-by-step. But I will still touch on my favorite moments from the final two. But there were so many that it's just going to be similar to what I was doing already. So it's going to be somewhere in the middle, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll give my rating for each episode as I normally would, but afterwards I want to talk about the anime as a whole as well.
Good.
So, before I start talking about it, how do you feel about that 11th episode? First Love.
I did enjoy it. I did think it was probably the weakest out of all of them, but saying that, it's only like by a 0.5, like if it was scaled.
Okay.
Like only because like not like I feel like it was just getting a lot more info on our new main character person. Yeah.
Yeah, the new core character.
Yeah, and which is perfectly fine. But I mean, I think of all, like, I'm not saying I disliked it. You know, I still think it's
I don't think you are at all.
Like a 10 out of 10.
It's tough to when you get these episodes and something that's been doing like so well in every episode, that when you do feel that little bit of like maybe this episode wasn't as for you, that it feels like you're hating on it.
Yeah, like I feel bad saying like it was the worst out of all the ones, at least for me, but like that doesn't mean it's bad.
It doesn't mean that at all.
Yeah.
I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that at all. Like I absolutely love this episode. I just think overall it's, you know, my least favorite episode, I guess.
Yeah. No, totally get that.
I still absolutely adored and loved it. So just letting you know.
Were there any moments that stood out to you that you want to talk about, or do you want to?
Nothing really standing out, but I do love, honestly, just like the dynamic between him and Okarun. Just throughout this episode and the next episode, like just the progress, both of them, and then like, you know, I mean, obviously we'll get it into the next episode too. Like,
yeah, it almost becomes like dynamic. Big brother, little brother,
a little bit, yeah.
Which I thought was awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, just their dynamic, I think, really did stand out, and there's a lot of funny.
Yeah, and that's something that that's what I love about these characters, is all their dynamics are so good.
Yeah.
There's not. It's all just. It's great all together, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will just go start ahead. Or start, and pretty much right from the beginning.
Okay.
So Ida is still convinced that Momo is her enemy, even after everything that has happened. So she goes on a little tangent about being temporarily allied to fight the aliens, and then runs off into the night to prepare for Momo's Ragnarok. I thought that was awesome, and I just love that she's sticking to it.
Yeah.
It really doesn't feel like she really thinks that they're enemies. It almost feels like just, I don't know, creative in a way. Like she's finally getting to have this like I'm a kid kind of thing. Yeah. And now I like you're my enemy. And I'm having fun now. Something like that. It just feels like that.
It does feel that way. Like they're all playing like imagination.
Yeah,
she's definitely getting into it now. You know, like that kind of.
I don't know why it feels like that. I don't know if it's meant to feel like that, but it feels like she's becoming really good friends with them, and that it's just silly.
Yeah, no, I feel that too.
Maybe not, but maybe she goes all out to stop Momo's actual Ragnarok that happens. So I won't say this is a favorite moment because it was kind of sad and it was more impactful than anything. A little more heart-wrenching from Okarun and Momo. Okarun clearly feels some kind of deep worry for Gigi staying at the house, and very much starts distancing himself from Momo emotionally as he leaves the house. You can see how this moment feels for the both of them very well here, and it really hit. Momo excitedly yelling to Okarun that it's his turn to say see you tomorrow, and I was just sitting there like so happy
for
this moment, and I kept saying Mata Hashita which is see you tomorrow. But and then while you could see he was a bit nervous, he turned away and couldn't really reciprocate the same emotion to her. Like he said it, but it was very dejected. And man, that made me feel for them both a lot.
Yeah. That was kind of a funny scene though, because like of how long it took.
Mm-hmm.
Like as he like walked away and like in the sad way that he walked, and then they kind of lingered on him walking away until he got out of frame. I thought that was kind of funny because
there was funny to it for sure, but it also like I you've probably had the feeling, I've had those same feelings where you see someone that you like having a good time with someone else. When you after you grow up, you kind of mature with those feelings, but I know the feeling of them like being and sometimes you don't. There's still situations where that is the case for sure.
Yeah.
But in this case, like it's hard for you to it seems like it's hard. And I can vouch for the fact that it is hard to just kind of differentiate that someone's a friend with someone and that's okay.
Especially when you like that person.
Yeah.
It's like,
and that it's not like, oh God, he's but you know, later we find out that maybe he is fighting for Momo's affection still.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just one of those things. He's still struggling with his feelings, and how to let them come out. And it was just, you know, it hit because I've been there. I feel like
I think we've all come familiarized with those kind of feelings.
Yep.
So.
And if you haven't, then I don't know, because it does seem like a normal thing for sure.
Yeah, it does, very normal. Yeah,
but I guess maybe less so for some people might not process it. You know, in a proper way, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see. Gigi. Gigi's reason for coming to stay at Momo and Seiko's house. The reveal of what feels to be the most sinister spirit yet. Feels like things are about to get very serious in tone. Because you see, like, you know, he starts talking about what happened to his family.
Like getting sick and whatnot.
Yeah, and you get a little bit of an idea of what the spirit looks like in a sense, but maybe it doesn't exactly look like that. But if it does, it's very creepy and it seems very sinister, or is very sinister. And then Gigi is absolutely killing it in his introduction at school. Like you mentioned earlier, his personality is actually kind of funny, and he immediately has all of the girls' attention. When he starts spouting off at all this stuff about his relationship to and with Momo, it was just very entertaining. His story went from being family to being in a currently approved lovey-dovey relationship together, and it was very funny.
It was like I was calling everyone like a cutie or a hottie, like all of the girls that are swooning over him.
Yeah.
As he's walking around the classroom.
Yeah.
He's like that like hot nerd guy that you know, like not the jock that everyone loves, but like just like the goofy weirdo that everyone likes.
Yeah, exactly. That does seem like that. It's just one of those things, like he has that that like confidence that some people might dislike, but then you feel like you can't hate it because he does this switch.
Yeah.
That's actually very funny. But the moment he like kind of threw Momo under the bus and said that they were in a relationship, I thought was hilarious. Especially after he was just saying he was family. It was like, don't start spreading those kind of rumors. Then this is a big one because it's a lot all at once, so it's gonna feel like I'm going step by step.
Okay.
Okurune's spiral into madness during class, where he can't stop thinking about Momo potentially still being into Gigi, and her no longer wanting to be into the occult or friendly towards him. And he slammed his head into the desk. It was that was so good. Like, it just felt impactful, and I feel like I've either done that in the past or wanted to do that in the past. That exact thing. And it portrays well, like, his not even paying attention to class at all, just because so much is going through his head.
Yeah, and he's like drawing in his notebook, or has drawings in his notebook.
Cute as hell. That was funny. He was like portraying he actually drew every moment. It wasn't one of those like flashback. He's just a silly like flashback. This is what he's thinking thing. He was actually drawing it out in his book. So, but he mans up and he gets right into some physical training again, back in the back alley where he got down with Aira. But his training doesn't last long until Momo finds him and brings him lunch so that she could eat with him. And it was incredibly cute.
Very sweet, yeah.
As she offers to feed him some lunch, which clearly changes his attitude. Just as quickly as Momo found Okurune, Gigi finds Momo. And
I do like this scene. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but like when she pops around the corner and she's like, "Oh, there you are!" How he like react, like, "Ooh," like right into the bush. I absolutely thought that was funny.
Yeah,
just
that was great.
You know, the classic like anime slapstick where like someone says something like dumb and they fall immediately to the ground. You know.
Yep.
That was great. Something like that. I really liked that. I just wanted that was something good. That I remember from that.
Good point out. But Gigi, he seems to be finding a way at every single turn to damage Okurune. Like critical hits.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. But he brought Momo her favorite yogurt flavored Pombe. And I just was like, this is unfair. What is happening? But I felt so much for Okurune, and he starts walking away. And you can, after he sees how excited she is, and it's like, you felt it. I felt it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you felt it. And I know I felt it. I'm sure many people have felt this type of feeling where you see someone that you care about getting like crazily excited because someone did something for them that you perceive as maybe someone who is an interest to the person that you like.
Yeah.
So I felt, and like he starts walking away, he's like super dejected, and he starts saying to himself like how he needs to try not to see her anymore, and I've literally done this, and it's not good. And I just know those thoughts very well. But luckily, before Okurune can continue to dwell on this, because we don't know where that could have went, some fully naked, half-skinned man, clearly a mannequin that you'd see in a science class, but has come to life, is sprinting full speed down the alley at him. And then as Okurune is sprinting back, he starts sprinting away. He's scared.
Yeah, he screams for
for Momo.
For Momo.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was like a blood curdling scream. So he starts sprinting back away from it, back towards Momo and Gigi, but it's fast and it flies by him easily and starts heading right at Momo, who is ready to stop it. But freaking Gigi, who is clearly here to ruin Okurune's life at every single turn, he like tackles to save Momo out of the way, as if like she's standing in front of a train.
Yeah, like being the hero type. But
yeah, exactly. And she's like, and she's clearly like surprised. She's like, ah.
Yeah.
It's just silly and it's funny. But like he didn't tackle her very far away because he still has the jump over them. And we get at least at first glance, we get the shot of a lifetime, the full spread, the reveal of its golden malt, or what we think.
Yeah.
And what Momo thinks is the golden nut.
Our nut jokes in
golden testicle. And seeing this, Momo is determined to not let it get away, and latches onto it. She uses her psychic power hands to latch on, and they are dragged along for a crazy ride. This is one of the funniest and most incredible chases that you'll see.
And it has William Tell overture.
Yes, and that was just it was some very fitting and familiar chase music, the William Tell overture, and I'm happy that you knew that. Like obviously I knew you'd know like what it like you've heard it before, but
yeah,
it's another thing to actually know what it's called.
I grew up on classical music and older music, so I know some of it.
It fits so well.
It does, yeah. Absolutely.
It was crazy how well that fit. And I just love how they went out of their way to find things that just work so well.
Yeah.
It was very, very kakoi, which is cool in Japanese. The whole chase scene was phenomenal, especially Momo's reaction to it exploding into pieces when they finally kind of caught it, which it ended up like causing her to scream and get grossed out, which gave it the chance, like she had to let it go, and it gave it the chance to merge back together and run away again. It was just so damn good that everything.
The dude runs like Attack on Titans. Those
I think it definitely had that vibe for sure.
Yeah.
Not one that like Attack on Titan that doesn't have its or doesn't really like, or like a Titan that doesn't think very well. Like
are they called like abnormals? Yeah, I think they're like abnormals. I think
abnormals would be like the ones that can think for themselves.
It was very reminiscent of that, I feel.
Yeah.
Like maybe it was an homage to that, or just like a little.
No, it was definitely very similar. I think it helped that it was a naked mannequin.
Yeah.
And then like half of it, was skinless. So it definitely had that vibe for sure. But this leads into what is just an insane kind of moment. But it was great at the same time. They find this mannequin brought to life at a junkyard, lying down in pain after Momo, like she had its heart from when it blew into pieces, and she was like squeezing it and with a hunch, thinking that it might harm it in some way and allow them to locate it, which it does. And while it's laying on the ground as they approach it, a female voice starts calling out to it by its name. And we learn here that this mannequin's name is Taro. He starts calling back out to this mysterious voice. And this mysterious voice's name is Hana. He starts climbing the junk pile to go to her. Taro finds her and digs her up, and these two are reunited, or it seems that they are reunited, so that they've seen each other before and know each other. He goes on. It's another mannequin. But it's a female. With no legs, no arms, just on a post. He goes on
like one of those sewing mannequins. I think like where you put like
it might be
a dress or something on it. I think it.
But it seemed like maybe it was like it was repurposed because it does have it's like half skinned as well.
Yeah, it is that. That's what confused me though too. I'm like, but is there a female version?
There are some. Yeah, there are. Yeah.
Oh.
But he goes on to tell her that he loves her and that his life changed after meeting her, and this resonates with our boy Okarun.
Mm-hmm.
These words impact him, and he starts thinking back on the moment his life changed in the exact same way when Momo first walked into his life. And that moment is when she went out of her way, seeing Okarun being bullied and stepping in front of that and stopping it.
Yeah.
And that moment looked just as incredible as it did back when we first saw it. But yeah, I love it. It really opens up Okarun's eyes to like love a little bit.
Yeah,
and that might be what he's feeling now.
Yeah, and it opens it up to where like he should, like it gives him like the idea of like maybe I should embrace what I'm feeling. You know what I mean? Like
embrace. Yeah. That, and just being able to kind of recognize what that's what this is.
Mm-hmm.
I just love how Taro and Hana are just on this pile of junk, but the setting sun behind them, and it looked awesome. It looked a little glorified, but in a funny way, and I love how they did it. But we end this episode with a very renewed and inspired looking Okarun, which is a rare sight.
Yeah.
So, to me it was a great episode. Dean, I know you mentioned this earlier, but tell me again a little bit about what you thought of this episode and give it a rating.
Yeah, I mean, I do love the episode. Like I said, I think overall it was the weaker one of it, but just in a general sense, like, I mean, it literally has no effect on my rating. It's just, I liked other episodes more than this one, but I absolutely did love this one. Still gorgeous, still beautiful. I mean, it's still like a 9 out of 10 for me.
Hell yeah. I feel that it's kind of what we talked about before, like how episodes are good for different reasons, right?
And this episode was really good for me, like for the new character, because when we first introduced him, I'm like, oh, now someone who's gonna have to, like, Okarun's gonna have to, step up and like
step his game up.
Yeah, and take Momo away from this guy, and like, yeah, good. And then now that I saw more his personality, I'm like, all right, I kind of like this guy.
Yeah, right.
Like, even though I want Okarun to succeed with Momo, it's still just like I like this character that they brought in and kind of fleshed out a little bit more in this episode. I mean, we see a lot more in the next one, I believe.
But I mentioned it a little bit later, but essentially Gigi is the catalyst to Okarun's growth in the sense that it's going to make him a little bit more able to project his feelings and get things across. And that's why I love Gigi as a character.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it. It was good. It's another classic Don to Don episode that's just like I don't have any complaints about it.
Awesome. Yeah, I give it a 9 out of 10 as well.
Yeah.
So with that, I think we are gonna get right on to episode 12, the final episode of the season. Let's go to the Cursed House.
All right. Well, just starting off, I liked this episode a lot better.
Did you?
I liked this one a lot. Yes.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Do you want to touch on anything specific before I get started? That you have in mind? It's fine if I go, because if I'll just end up going over whatever again if needed. It's not a big deal. So if you have anything you want to jump on, go ahead.
I mean, nothing that like jumps out at me that I want to like get to right now. But if something pops up, I'll just be like, let me interject.
Yeah, just hit the objection button or something.
Okay, like Ace, whatever.
Ace Ventura. Ace Ventura. No.
Ventura.
Damn it. I know what you're talking about.
What is it called? Yeah, I was just playing that game like the other day or something.
Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, that's what it is. There it is.
The reason I said Ace Ventura is because I was thinking Ace Attorney.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that great series. So after Okarun, Momo and Gigi beg the stunning Seiko to keep Tardo's girlfriend Hana at the house. Okudun finally gains the strength to jump in while Gigi and Momo are being cute together. And while I'm pumped for that, my God, did we get body slammed by Awkward. It was awkward, it was cute, it was funny all at the same time. So it wasn't like bad awkward, but Okudun starts singing this song out about how he's fighting for Momo, and then Gigi hilariously and like unexpectedly to Okudun starts singing with him
and dancing like how he was too.
Yeah, and they do this like shuffle dance that I love. Just an amazing moment. And Momo's just like, what the hell, guys? She's just trying to move furniture. Then Tardo leaving to go see Hannah and scaring the crap out of some students who are at the school late at night trying to find some scary stuff. Kind of similar to what what Momo and Okudun were doing in the very first episode, where they went on their separate ways to go find some occult stuff. But they don't get fully into it. At first I was like, all right, these guys are probably about to die.
Yeah, that's what I thought was gonna happen.
But instead it's just Tardo leaving to go see Hana late at night, running down the halls fully naked and scaring the shit out of them.
Just jumps out the window and just I love how just abrupt, like, imagine, because they're already freaked out that they're in the school at night, and then just having this run at you. Yeah. And I do like when he did jump out of the window, where he like crosses the moon.
Yeah, I
thought that looked good.
Yeah.
And then he's just in the train.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just sitting there like naked. But we go from that to like, holy shit, poor Tardo just got obliterated by a truck, because he gets obliterated by a truck not looking while crossing the street. And you at this point, I'm like, oh god, I think he's actually dead.
Yeah,
even though his like eyes blinking, but he's actually broken now. As opposed to earlier in the last episode, where when he broke apart, it was like the actual pieces that you can pull off. And you can put it back together easily. Yeah. But in this moment, he looks actually broken.
Yeah, he didn't form immedially back together. So it's
he wasn't like merge and came back together.
Yeah.
But that was crazy. I was like, no, because now we have this beautiful love story between two mannequins, and we can't lose that.
No.
Where was I? But this happens. And Momo and Hana are outside waiting for him to show up. It's late at night, and he just never comes. And we get to morning, and we see that luckily he was able to put himself back together. Looks like he like took some vines and leaves and patchworked himself back together.
Like a bush, yeah.
First thing in the morning, and Momo wakes up because she fell asleep waiting, but she wakes up and gets to see them kiss.
Oh,
she's like, what the hell?
Why'd you wake me up?
Yeah, that was good. I just love that. And then shortly after that, was it shortly? I think it was kind of on the side, but Gigi can't sleep. We see like,
yeah, I think that was immediately after that.
Yeah, we see again kind of a horrifying image of the spirit that's targeting him. It was very terrifying looking. It's like standing there very ominously. It's got these long ass arms that are just like gross and slender. Very creepy looking. Its face is all like very smushed together, but its mouth is like got this kind of shit-eating grin.
Yeah, it honestly, I don't know if anyone will like realize it, but like it kind of looked like Android 19 from Dragon Ball Z. Like
I think I know it.
Yeah, kind of like kind of like that like weird menacing look where it's just kind of smiling.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know, because the head was pretty round too.
Yeah, that's the vibe it gave off. Like with that, I always thought Android 19 was weird looking. Like I because he almost looked like a clown, but like
yeah.
So that's the vibe it gave. It's very creepy. It is a very off-putting.
But it makes you feel in that moment, like maybe Spirit has attached itself to Gigi. We're not 100% sure at this point. We don't really know, but it kind of gives that feeling because clearly it's still tormenting Gigi in some way.
Yeah, like making him not be able to sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get this scene. They're on the train traveling to Gigi's house. So they're, Okarun's on one side, Gigi and Momo happen to be sitting next to each other. And
which
they're
in itself,
having fun.
Which in itself sucks when you don't get to sit next to the person that you want to sit next to.
Yeah. So Okarun starts forcing himself to only think about getting his nut back, so his bad intrusive thoughts of Momo and Gigi don't take over. So he just says nut over and over in his head.
Nut,
as time is passing by. And that just goes on until he's snapped out of it. Funnily.
Yeah, and then he goes like, my nut!
Yep. And then, so...
I'm just going to scream that randomly.
Right.
Someone like, hey, what's up, man? Hey, my nut!
Yeah. So now Okarun realizes that once again he needs to take initiative again and grab Momo's attention away from Gigi. So he screams out that he's going to start talking about Tsuchinokos. And while it works initially, Gigi counters all efforts to distract, and instead, to Okarun's surprise and kind of our surprise, him and Gigi start gushing about all these monsters together and end up having a did we just become best friends kind of moment.
Yeah, of course he likes the same stuff.
Right, and like the way that he goes, like, and this is what makes me like Gigi so much, is that he doesn't like talk about his like for it. He goes out of his way to talk about how he likes how Okarun knows so much about this and how how cool he thinks that is. So it just like, and Momo or Okarun now like has his guy friend now that he hasn't had, or it feels like that right now. Like, obviously, did that realization just happen? Sure, but it feels like it's an actual friendship moment.
Yeah, I think he said like, this is the first time I've talked to someone about this stuff other than Momo.
Yeah, so since like meeting Momo. Yep.
Yes, he's like realizing like, oh, like maybe he's not such a horrible person,
Yeah. So, but this was just so damn awesome. I love this moment. And then Okarun even used the "I am an awkward fellow after all" line on him, which stuns Momo immediately, as it usually does. But it's like,
don't say that.
Yeah. I just love that we didn't just forget about that. Because we haven't heard it in a while or had that Ken Takakura thing go on for a while. I'm just very glad we didn't forget about that. Then, we get to Gigi's town and we get a massive hike to Gigi's house, which Gigi made look incredibly easy, obviously probably because he lives there and it's like a daily thing for him. But basically destroys Momo and Okarun. They're wheezing.
Yeah, this is where similarities between me and Gigi end right there. I do not have that energy.
Yeah. But there was like on the last set, they really go out of their way to show Momo and Okarun wheezing.
Yeah.
And it was that was just funny. They did.
I do want to point out though, like visually, like when they're in the town, walking in the town,
looks
like
phenomenal.
I absolutely love how they like drew this and made this. Like, these are towns like I want to visit when I go to Japan. Like, they just, like they're cramped, like they just got one like, alleyway of stairs that you go to different shops and whatnot. Like, and just how they drew it and just it looked so good.
It looked so good. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be that. I plan for that to be kind of like the majority of my trip. Is that type of situation for sure. So before going to the house, Okarun notices something in the woods. With it, there you got this super creepy vibe, a little bit of an audio cue change.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a close look at a group of folks who don't seem don't seem okay. They gave me this vibe that they reminded me a little bit of the aliens.
Yeah, that's the same. That's what I was getting from them. I'm like, are these aliens or what are these kind of people? Like,
or almost the Serpians.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it was like, but they're still they're much more humanoid still. So, and that started to make me feel like maybe the town has either a lot of these people have been possessed, or B, they've been under this like dreadful influence for so long that they've like lost their way or something like that.
Yeah. Or C, they're just normal humans, because humans can be scary as well.
True. They literally could just be that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's
that they all have like this just dark gray complexion, but they also have like this yellow tinge in their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they go inside. And Momo doesn't find any spirits in the entire house. Ends up having this very funny moment on the couch where she's showing off this. She's got this like Seiko like confidence all of a sudden, while Gigi's like sitting there praising her for being so cool. But then she goes out of her way. She's like, Momo or Okarun, you can sit next to me while we rest. And it seems like Okarun's going to get to rest with Momo, and have like a little moment finally.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but Momo's like, nope, I'm out of here. She leaves the boys alone together and runs off to the hot springs, almost like it's time to actually relax and get some much needed alone time away from these boys. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And then, so this jumps around a lot here at this point in the episode. So I'm going to do my best to kind of talk about it without sounding so back and forth.
Yeah.
While Momo's gone, Gigi and Okarun get to play a little soccer together. Or it's more like Gigi's kind of teaching Okarun a little bit about soccer. And then out of nowhere, throws a stun bang of words at him. He just straight up comes out with it and asks Okarun, "You in love with Momo?" And my jaw just pretty much dropped to the floor for Okarun there. Yeah. I was like, damn,
about that.
Out with that so fast. And that was just amazing. And then we cut to Momo, who is very much enjoying her time at the hot spring. Turns out, like, instead of just wanting to get away from them, it seems like she noticed that a friendship thing was happening here, and she wanted to give them some time together and not be in the way of that, which is freaking awesome.
That makes her a good friend. I feel.
She's excited for Okarun to have his first guy friend.
Yeah.
Which is just, I just love it that she does. I don't like, obviously they made this character and it's a character that's made up, but I love the things that she does.
Yeah.
Right before we cut back to the boys, we see that Momo is not alone.
A little creepo.
There's some weirdo in the nearby shed
or whatever.
Yeah. Now back to the boys again. Things start to get competitive, which is, for boys, that's very normal.
Mm-hmm.
Gigi and Okarun start clapping back and forth about what they love about Momo. And it's apparent now that Gigi isn't necessarily just a childhood friend. He's competition. and it's just, but it's an awesome
back and
moment.
Forth is funny.
Yeah, because it's not an argument. It's like they are close rivals now, both after Momo's affection.
Yes.
After Gigi throws out this casual, well, I'm Momo's childhood friend, and it was like, and he does this like stance that made it seem like it was the finishing move.
Yeah.
And he was very confident that he was the winner there. But that makes Okarun think about his accidental kiss with Momo, which instead of spurting it out, he pretends to get sad because he knows he won without having to say it. And I love it.
I do love that he turns around and he's like, oh, yeah. I won. You won. And then Gigi's just like, what?
What do you mean? You can't just do that.
Yeah, you can.
But we know he won, and he knows he won, and but he doesn't have to say it. He just pretends to get sad, and I just love it.
And it definitely portrays like what any of us would do in that situation. Like when we know we got the better deal, you know, like, oh, I kissed her. I don't think he has. Dude, and you knowing.
That's the thing, though. Some people would have just came out and said it, and it would have made for probably a weird situation.
True.
Where Mom was like, "No, we didn't kiss." You know, she finds out indirectly that someone's saying that we're making out now, things like that. So I think that was a very big moment of Okarun. And like, you know, for some people like you and I, that is the proper way to handle a situation. Do you want to have that, I kissed her moment with your friend? Sure. But, you know, as a kid, those situations can turn into like drama and gossip and things like that. So he, instead of wanting to take the upper hand, he took the high road.
Yeah.
But it was cute and it was funny. And the way that he acted sad was hilarious. Because it wasn't even like a real sounding sad. It was like,
I won.
And then so meanwhile, while this is all happening, they're having their fun. Momo's situation's getting worse. She attempts to leave the hot springs and is confronted by 5 creeps.
Yeah, this made me uncomfortable. Not gonna lie, this made me uncomfortable. Yeah, it's made me very uncomfortable.
And this anime has done, when it does have those moments, it is good at doing it.
Absolutely.
And they start walking towards her, ready to get into the spring with her. And if you know springs, you know, like they're not in there clothed. They got towels and that's it.
Yeah.
And this includes Momo.
This does it really good where, like, I've totally forgot that this show has supernatural things, because now that I'm worried, I feel like this has happened in the real world. You know what I mean? For sure. And that's why it's so creepy, because it's like, it's just dudes coming up on like a young girl who, you know, might not be able to fight them off. Like, it's really.
And the worst part about that is there's like, I hate even feeling like I have to say this, but these things happen and it never gets justice. You know, that person has to deal with that for the rest of their lives, and it sucks.
And I think that's what it does really well, is like, it's a supernatural show, but then, like, you know, it portrays like realism as well. Like, I don't know.
This show is great about portraying realism, right? Like, there's so many aspects about this show that we relate to, that are legitimately real. It deals with real problems, and it's it does it in a way that isn't improper.
Yeah. But yeah, it definitely, it really did creep me out. Like,
as it should.
Like I said earlier, like, it could just be humans being humans, and that's just as disgusting as ghosts and ghouls and stuff like that. So
let's say they are possessed in some way, or they have this, whatever is in this town is just exuded over them for so long that they've they're under some kind of trance, and it brings out this bad part of them so easily. It could be a number of things we won't know until season 2, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it could be a number of things. But at the end of the day, this is definitely uncomfortable, and we worry for Momo here.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, once again, continuing to cut back and forth here.
Yep.
Okarun and Gigi go to shake hands, but it's a clever trick by Gigi, and he grapples the hell out of Okarun, and they puts him in a chokehold. It's like kind of a chokehold, but obviously they're playing around. He's not seriously trying to choke him out. But mid scuffle, Okarun notices something off about the house. There is an out of place addition to it, which indeed confuses Gigi. They go inside to check it out and end up smashing a hole into the wall into this new space, which, as expected, is some kind of domain. There's talismans that cover the walls into a massive dark space as they peer inside this hole.
It looks like a prison. Like
that's what I was thinking, dude.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Like it's to keep something in, right? Yeah. That's what it felt like. And who knows? Maybe punching a hole in that wall just released something that you didn't want to release. But maybe not. We don't know. We won't know yet.
For 6 months. Too long.
Right. And then now that happened, there was a lot more cut back and forth there. I just tried to keep that in one space there. So we're back to Momo now. This is all happening at the same time. Momo is still in a very, very bad situation that's continuing to get worse very quickly. The creeps tell Momo that she came to a co-ed bath. And they say it in the creepiest of ways. You couldn't do something creepier.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably could, but this was definitely up there on the list for ways to do things creepily. And they then get into the spring with her and start creeping towards her, essentially cornering her. They proceed to tell Momo about something called gators, which is them.
Oh yeah.
And now the situation is there. It's in that momentum stage where it's just gonna continue to get worse and worse. And the gators are these guys, but they explain that gators are guys who often show up in co-ed baths and target naked women. I don't know if this is like an actual thing.
I was just gonna say that. I'm like, I don't like if this stuff is real. Like that's messed up, man. Absolutely.
It probably is. They probably.
Yeah, humans are the worst.
Like I didn't want to go out of my way to look up to see if gator was an actual term. Like,
yeah,
or if this was just made up for the show. I don't know.
I don't want to be put on a list.
Yeah. Or see some like weird gator shit where it's eating people or something, because that'll happen if you go on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. They start converging on her. And before she realizes the situation is getting bad, but before she can attack with her psychic powers, one of them has already been underwater and attacks her from underneath the water and pins her down under the water. This is not good. It's for a lack of wanting to use a better word, it's fucked up.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
And we need Momo to find a way out of this somehow, because the other two are very much tied up. They are not in a situation where they can save her.
And they don't even know she's in
think
trouble.
That it's happening.
Yeah. I was just going to say, like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. And we, having seen the way the other townsfolk look right now, that none of them are going to go out of their way to save her either. So we hope that she gets out of this situation very quickly, but we can't find out because it's the end of the damn episode.
I like how you said what I was thinking. It's the end of the damn episode. It's like what a cliffhanger they left us on, those SOBs. I swear
we are left hanging on an absolutely insane cliff That leaves Momo in a terrifyingly fucked up position, while we are also left wandering along with Okarun and Gigi about what this domain is that they're peering into and what is inside of it. So, Dean, tell me your thoughts on this episode.
I absolutely did really enjoy this episode. More so the oh god, what am I trying to think? The dynamic between Okarun and Gigi.
It blossoming.
Yes, just and just seeing more of Gigi's like character, and like he's becoming like my favorite character.
Yeah. He's
just,
great.
Just like how he acts, like I definitely see a lot of me in him. Like Okarun, yes, there's a side of me where I'm very shy and whatnot, but like I think in groups of like friends and stuff, I'm definitely more the open, louder one because I for whatever reason, I mean maybe I used to be, maybe not now. Like I might be like more like Okarun now,
right? But you see similarities and you feel like you relate. Yeah.
Yes, just being like the goofy guy who wants to, make people happy and laugh and like, but yeah, no, I give this like 9.5 out of 10. Like, yeah, I really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
Especially with like the creeps and stuff like that, like in the bathhouse. Yeah, really, really makes me feel upset because like humans would like, I don't care if they're possessed or not,
are actually capable of this, and it's not just like a fictional story.
Yeah, like this is not just like people being possessed. Like this crap happens all the time, and like I think about it a lot too because I have 2 daughters and a girlfriend, and like I always worry about shit like that.
Yeah,
if I'm not around and that's happening, hate it. Like just
yeah. And for a co-ed bath, like to be a woman going to one, that how active do you think co-ed baths actually are, knowing that this is like a thing that could happen?
I mean,
and I understand why they wouldn't be. I don't know, and I haven't looked it up, but I know the way that things, at least in the U.S., have gone co-ed, especially with like bathrooms and things like that, like all gender bathrooms. That I don't know, but there's obviously that worry, and these things are possible, and that is just a scary thought.
It is,
and it's just a whole screwed up situation, and we hope our girl gets out of this without some kind of insane trauma that she has to live with for the rest of her life. Not that what's happening right now isn't traumatic, but hopefully it doesn't get much further than where it's at.
Yeah, no. But that's my thought on it. I really wish we gotta wait 6 months for it now.
I know, it's so bittersweet, man. So I thought this episode was great. It had a load of great moments. I will say though that for if it's the first time, things felt a little bit like a very minute, a little bit rushed at the end of the episode.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I could see that.
Basically, from this point when Momo left to the hot springs to the end, it wasn't bad. I'm not saying that in any way, but it was the first time I kind of felt this. I feel like everything was portrayed well. It was tense as hell. I think that it being the first time that I felt this made it stand out more because there hasn't been a moment like that I felt in the rest of the season that made me feel this. So I don't know, maybe it was just ever so slightly rushed, that end bit.
I could see that.
Let me clarify, is not a bad thing for this episode. I love a good cliffhanger, and they nailed it here. It really helps, though, knowing that the second season isn't that far off.
Yeah.
And us knowing for sure that we are getting it.
Well, see, I didn't know that. So when it ended, when I was watching it, I'm like, are you kidding me? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you brought it up. that it's coming out, because then that does make me feel a little better, but still, it's just like, I have to wait.
We got to see Okarun develop a little bit and gain a new friend that is pushing him to go out of his comfort zone, which is really awesome. We had a lot of laugh out loud moments with the trio. It was just really well done, from comedic moments to mystery to stress. It just delivered. So I can safely say I'm happy with this season finale, and I give it a 9.2 out of 10.
Cool.
Let's talk a little bit before we get to the end here about the anime as a whole. Dean, if you have any, tell me your thoughts on it as a whole, the things that surprised you. Was there anything that could have been done better in your eyes? Did it blow you away? How do you feel now that we've reached the end of the season? And what would you rate the anime as a whole?
Well, one, I don't think they need to do anything better or change. I like throughout this whole season, I did not once think, oh, I wish they did this or that. Like, at least to the extent of where, it ruined an episode for me. I mean, they pretty much did everything perfect.
Yeah.
I honestly, going into this, I was skeptical because, like, I have a very odd taste in anime. Like, I like the main stuff, but also, like, I always see like a lot of supernatural anime, and that doesn't really grab my attention too much. I like ones where it's like Bleach or Dragon Ball Z, where like people have powers, like My Hero, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I much prefer those kind of anime. So like going into this, I'm like, okay, let's see, it's something different.
Yeah. Because I remember when I first when we were doing the whole like. I would do this thing where I would just read off about upcoming anime. And I remember reading kind of the synopsis off to you before this came out. And it like, I could tell like you were a little bit reserved about it.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad things.
I'm really glad you suggested it. Yeah, no, I honestly like, it's one of my favorite new animes. Like, I think Jujutsu Kaisen's still like my top one for new.
Would this make your top 10?
Oh yeah, like top 10 in general.
Hell yeah.
I'm just saying with like newer
I get that.
animes
I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, like up there. Out of like our regular top 10 of favorite anime, yeah, this is absolutely my top 10 now. I don't know what it kicked out, but it definitely.
Yeah, sorry to the one that got knocked out.
Yeah, whichever one I got to redo now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, like, I will say 9 out of 10 overall. Entire first season is a 9 out of 10. The only reason it's not a 10 out of 10 is, I mean,
I totally understand.
I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, like it's perfect as is, but like I feel like nothing can be perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's go 9.5 out of 10 then.
Okay. I like it.
I really enjoyed it.
It's very fair.
It's an anime that I probably wouldn't have looked at on my own. Okay. Because I'm very reserved right now, especially like with my emotions and like, my personal life, what's going on.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just don't feel like, I just want to watch old things to feel nostalgia, like to actually feel something. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I
totally understand that.
Yeah, that's why I'm like rewatching so many things that I watched, a
long
time
watching
ago.
Something that you love and you're comfortable, it makes you feel comfortable, things like that.
Yeah,
it's comfortable for a reason.
Yeah,
those feelings are good.
Yeah,
I don't blame you at all.
But this anime for sure definitely changed that. Currently,
hell yeah, we like that.
It's funny. It's got good action. It does gorgeous.
Like actually everything.
Yeah, it's just, just visually, like it is really good. Like, what? All right, my cat's like scratching something. Will you calm down? You hear that?
Yeah, I do actually.
Jesus.
I thought maybe you were messing with something on your desk.
Nope, that was him. That's him.
Skids, get back here!
All of a sudden, my monitors are probably gonna fly off the table. But yeah, no, this was a pleasant surprise because I've been trying like other animes and just kind of been like, yeah, like I'm not feeling, them. Like I'm like, oh, I like it, but it's just I'm not feeling it. Like I do this, like I'm invested in these people. So I think, 9.5 out of 10 overall.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So let me start by saying,
Science
Saru put on a clinic with Dandadan. They created an adaptation that is going to be loved and talked about by many for a very, very long time. And man, I'm just so impressed with what they did from the ground up, from the first episode to the 12th episode, from the audio design to the animation, from the very opening of the anime with its opening OST, Otonoke by Creepy Nuts, to the voice actors who were cast that brought these truly wonderful characters to life. It was all wonderfully created, and I'm so happy that we chose to watch this anime. Of course, there's still more that needs to be done. This is just one season, but we couldn't have asked for a better start.
I agree.
The animation was a 10 out of 10. It never faltered. It was incredibly consistent at a high level. The way they featured special hues of color during big combat scenes and used beautiful contrasting colors in the most intense moments was so damn unique and well done.
Yeah.
The Japanese voice acting was a 10 out of 10. I want to give love to these incredible voice actors quick. Not that they will ever hear this, but I still want to.
Yeah, man. Gotta appreciate them.
Shion Wakayama, who voices Momo Ayase, you were absolutely phenomenal. You are truly Momo Ayase, and your range is wonderful. You made me cry, you made me laugh, you made me gasp, you had me fully immersed. Your voice is warm and soft, yet it has impact. Just amazing, and I'd think of nobody else as Momo. Natsuki Hane, who voices our boy Okarun. You actually bring so many of my favorite characters to life. And you just added another one to the list. Just an incredible job conveying Okarun's emotions to us in a way that we could actually feel. Ayane Sakura, who voices Aira. You made me cry like a baby. The way that you conveyed Aira and brought her to life before our eyes, and the incredible character development that you conveyed to us through your emotion and words. You made me feel a lot, actually. Whether you had me laughing or crying, you turned Aira, who started out as unlikable, into one of my absolute favorite characters in all of anime. You were amazing. Nana Mizuki. Oh, Nana Mizuki. You voiced the stunning and the incredible Seiko Ayase. How could I ever say anything bad about you? Your comedic timing was something to behold. The confidence and tone that you speak with is almost entrancing, and it's not just because Seiko is incredibly hot. From Seiko's motherly or grandmotherly moments to her stern and chaotic moments, you portrayed them perfectly. Thank you for bringing Seiko to life. Keito Ishikawa, who voices Jin in Juji, or Gigi. We haven't had you for long, but you are already a wonderful addition to the group. And I look forward to hearing you voice Gigi more as we see this character develop. Meanwhile, you seem perfect for the character. You really deliver on his outgoing and exciting personality. Then there is Mayumi Tanaka as Turbo Granny, Tomokazu Seki as Dover Demon, the stunning Chiaki Takahashi as the equally stunning Queen Sensei. Yeah, I had to include her.
Yep.
even though even though she was only seen for a couple minutes.
She's Queen Sensei. Come on.
Yeah.
Got to.
Just thank you all for bringing these amazing characters to life. You are all incredible. So to continue on quick.
Man, that was like an award show. Here you are doing that, and I'm like Raccoon.
No,
it was pretty. It was pretty.
I just tried to give myself something to. I just prepare myself for like what I want to say. Sound design was amazing. Every score was placed so well. And added feeling to the most important moments. The creepy audio cues and the ambience gave me chills at times. I won't forget the opening. Otonoke by Creepy Nuts, which perfectly represented the amazing opening animation and the overall vibe of the anime. So the sound is a 10 out of 10. Characters is an easy 10 out of 10. And it might sound like I'm just handing out 10 out of 10s, and that's because I am. And the show deserves it. Momo, Aida, Okudun, Seiko, and now Gigi. I love and care for our group so much. I want to see each of them continue to develop and have impactful moments with each other. I can't wait for them all to be in the same house together so they can have another sushi brawl. I need it in my veins. But primarily Momo, Aida, and Okudun, though, they have made me feel so much in the first season. Even all of the villains are great, including the former villains like Dover Demon, to the Serpians, and the now Pardo and Hana, who are just awesome little side characters. So again, an easy 10 out of 10, and I can't wait to see more of all of them down the road. Story. Once again, an easy 10 out of 10. Throwing aside that it features two of my favorite things, ghosts and aliens, the main story, which pretty much has Okudun's nuts revolving around it, is phenomenal. The pacing, the character development, the actual developments, and then the pacing again. The story stays on track throughout, and it made us laugh. It broke our hearts. There were many actual jaw-dropping moments. Getting to follow Momo and Okudun's story as they grow together has felt like an absolute treat, especially with Seiko, Aida, and Gigi in the mix. Each arc felt impactful, and none of them really outshined the other. They were all great.
Yeah.
And finally, as a whole, Dandadan Season 1 is a perfect 10 out of 10. That's my rating for it. Nice. I'm so happy having watched this, and I'm also happy that I got to pretty much watch it alongside with you, Dean. And my voice is getting raspy.
Oh, well, thank you. It has been really fun experiencing that, and now,
yeah,
oh my god, damn cat. Yeah, no, it's honestly, I wouldn't want to watch it with anyone else because, like, just how in depth you get is what I need to bounce off of, because I'm just like, it was good, you know. Like I'm just a brute when it comes to describing things.
That's fine,
like,
man.
Maybe when it comes to like audio stuff, I might get a little more into it.
Yeah, that's fine, man. I mean, you have plenty of insight.
Yeah,
that is.
Well, thank you.
Is good.
But yeah, no, good. Everything was fantastic with this.
But yeah, what a damn ride. For season 1, it goes down as one of my favorites of all time, and it jams itself into my top 10. Very, very close to the top. If not the top. Honestly, I don't know what we have in store, and I'm not going to look to the manga to find out, but I'm confident that the journey is going to continue to be amazing. But guess what? We can take a peek, and I'm saving it for right now to watch for the first time with you, Dean, if you haven't watched it already.
What?
The season 2 trailer.
Oh, they already have a trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I have been... Up until you said, I didn't even know season 2 was officially, like, a thing. So, okay. Oh, shit.
So we're going to watch it right now together.
Hell yeah. Yes. Boop. Look at that. Already.
Make sure you can see this pretty well.
Actually, I have your voice doubled right now because I'm watching your screen. And you sound like Cooler.
Oh, hell yeah. Here's the trailer. Or sneak peek into season 2. Only here on the Anime Odyssey.
Yeah, only here.
It's a massive joke. It's on YouTube, and it's the only reason I'm allowed to play it.
ジジの家見た？ターボババア的にどうよ？
ありゃダメだな。あの家は人間の血が染み込みすぎてる。
やば、何これ？どうしようオカル。やれやれ、本気出すぜ。
これは確かにヤバいわ。
どうすんのこれ。
許せない。あいつらだけは。
やっと手に入れたでのこの体。人間は皆殺しじゃ。
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn, that looks so good.
Hell yeah.
Oh, just the music and everything. Oh.
Worldwide streaming, July 2025.
Damn.
So yeah, we got a lot to look forward to, and that trailer did not disappoint. I did not watch that before just now, so I just want to clarify that.
That's awesome.
Yes. So we got that. We are excited. At least I feel like we probably both are very excited.
Yes, absolutely.
Hang on one sec. So, any other thoughts on that trailer before we close out?
So the
was there
one
anything
who
you saw that you were like, whoa?
Yeah, the third eye opening guy, was that Gigi who got his body acquired?
It seems like it.
Because that looks awesome.
I'm sure I'll rewatch it again. I think I was just more like zoning out there as I just kind of like
took it all in.
Yeah.
Yeah. That actually gave me goosebumps. I got goosebumps.
Yeah, there was the moment where Okudun was about to go do full throttle. That gave me chills. I was like, yeah.
What a drag. It's like Shikamaru from Naruto. He's my favorite character. He always says that. What a drag.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
All right. So that's it for this episode, I think.
I think so. So wait. So what are we gonna watch until then?
Well,
do we have anything like? Okay.
Well, we'll figure that out soon. Maybe we figure that out in the next episode.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you all for listening. If you watched Don to Don alongside us, I hope you enjoyed every moment of it just as much as we did. Please let us know what you thought of season 1. We would absolutely love to know.
Mm-hmm.
So what's next? Like you said, I don't know. But we will figure that out.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out.
As always, this is the Anime Odyssey. We live on YouTube and Spotify. You can find us as well on Apple and Amazon Music, if that's where you like listening to your podcasts. Thank you all once more for listening, and thank you, Dean, for joining me.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
See ya.